3.
Oh, 75 is Mason. Oakley's number 74. Whoops. So Mason Nick. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a cool evening here on Friday, October 7th. We got a good one for you here tonight. It's the classic crosstown rivalry between the West Fargo Packers and the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. This year's matchup between these two teams is going to be taking place here at home for the Mustangs here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. We got the Essentia Health pregame show here. Joining alongside me is Dan Wolf once again up here in the booth. I'm Jackson Miller. It is 9.5 minutes to game time here to kick off. And this is a good, you always got to enjoy this matchup, Dan, between West Fargo and Cheyenne. They played against each other twice last year. They played against each other earlier in the year at West Fargo last year in the regular season, and then they ended up playing each other in the state championship. The Mustangs obviously took both the matchups, and, it's a new year this year. Two new teams. West Fargo's 3-3 right now, and Cheyenne's 5-1. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams match up here tonight.
Absolutely, Jackson. Whenever these two teams clash, I'm sure it's one of the first things that players look for on the schedule is when they're going to play their crosstown rivals. And even though it is a rivalry, we all know that both of these teams have friends on the other team, but they know that everyone gets up for this game. And, the old cliche of throw the records out the window, it doesn't really matter when these two teams face off against each other. But this year it does mean something. With the playoff format, there's no more strictly East region or West region. It's all just one big pool of 11 2A teams. And so, as you pointed out, the Packers are 3-3, but winless against any teams in the East. The two teams that they've played so far, Fargo-Davies and Shanley, they dropped both of those games. So their wins have come against West teams, and we know Cheyenne at 5-1 also lost to the Davies Eagles, who were in a big game just across town against the Shanley Deacons tonight. So this is a pretty important night, as this is going to shake out probably seedings for playoffs, as there's only a couple weeks left in the regular season after tonight.
Yeah, West Fargo, they dropped a few games here earlier in the year. They won the first game, they dropped the next three, and then they're coming off back-to-back wins, though, coming into tonight. They defeated Bismarck High 2 weeks ago and Bismarck St. Mary's last week. And the Mustangs, they're on a 4-game winning streak ever since they lost to Davies a few weeks back. So, to recover from that, tough loss against Davies, to lose 35-6 and then come back and win 4 straight. And, hopefully they can continue that winning streak here tonight on their home turf, which is, by the way, since this home turf has been built in 2019, the Mustangs have not lost on this turf. So, it's a pretty you always wonder when that time will come. But
yeah, it's a pretty big home field advantage. There's no doubt about that. And last week we know the Mustangs had to travel the long trip up to Minot. And anytime you make a trip of that length, you want to make sure that you don't go home empty-handed. And we know that the Mustangs pulled out an important victory up in Minot last week. Minot's still a team that is receiving some votes, I think, in the Class A polls. or the Class 11 2A polls here. So certainly wasn't an easy win for the victories or for the Mustangs, but they were able to pull that out last week thanks to the play of a couple of pretty special players.
Yeah. So some of the two players that really stood out last week were number one last week in that win against Minot last week was Caleb Deere. Our QB1 this year. He had 13 attempts, 120 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, and a 27-14 win over that Minot squad last week. And Caleb has really been doing a magnificent job here as in his first year as a starting quarterback to replace Grant after Grant graduated last year, being a 3-year starter, and then to come in and to try to fill his shoes. I mean, it's a tough job being the starting quarterback, and Caleb Deere is he's done an incredible job, and he actually leads the EDC AA in rushing yards, which is, or actually no, he's behind a race in rushing yards. He's top 2 in the EDC in rushing yards, but he does have more touchdowns. He has 7 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. And you're right, Jackson. It's going to take time, a little bit of growing pains, I think, early in the season. But Caleb, I think, is really kind of starting to find his form and play the type of run the offense the way that Coach Newton would like to. And on the other side of the ball last week, Jackson, shouldn't be a surprise that Carter Menz, the University of Minnesota commit, came up huge, 5 tackles, 2 assists, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. And that's what you need from your big playmakers. You need them to step up in big situations, and Carter Menz definitely did that last week.
Well, and once again, just like last year, he's currently leading the EDC AA in sacks with 7 coming into this matchup tonight. So, and it seems like, he's been a lot more quiet this year compared to last year in his junior season. But this year, since teams know how deadly he is now, they've been double teaming and triple teaming him.
A lot of chip blocks from running backs or a tight end, those sorts of things. You don't want to let one guy on the defensive line dictate to you what you're going to do, and that's why he's had so much attention given to him over the course of the season thus far. So as we look at tonight, Jackson, we've identified a couple players that we think probably could be difference makers. Who do we have first?
Well, the first, you got the leading rusher in the EDC right now and in rushing yards, and that's number 3, Race Wilson. This kid is, the definition of an athlete. Ever since I met Race, I just knew, when he first played with our travel team back in 4th grade, it's like this kid's just a natural athlete. He's good at everything. He's good at basketball. He's good at baseball. He's good at track. He's good at football. And what makes him so special at the running back position is, his ball carrier vision is just absolutely lethal. I think that's what makes him he's not the bulkiest kid, but he still breaks a lot of tackle. He bounces, he makes people miss, and that's just what makes him so deadly. If you give him a lane, he's going to find it, use that deadly vision of his, and break free and maybe juke you out and break free for a touchdown. We saw that in that move he made against Shanley where he made 2 defenders miss, and then he juked out the third and scored on the left side of the end zone there. That was a screenplay that just turned into like a 40, 50-yard touchdown.
And really all because of him from the moves that he did. And I was going to say that, Jackson, he's not the biggest of backs that we have by any stretch of the imagination, but he is tough. I was talking to his dad a little bit prior to the game, and he was saying, he's got some bumps and bruises that he gets in there. And when you're in that pile of defenders inside the trenches there, you're going to take a lot of unintentional spikes and things like that as you're going through. So certainly Race Wilson will be a factor in tonight's game if Cheyenne's going to be victorious.
Well, then you also got Caden Rahr. He's the bigger of those two guys. Obviously, Caden Rahr stands around 6'2", 6'3", and around over 220 pounds. I mean, the kid's just a freak. And last year, he was on pace for 1,000 yards, and then he had to deal with the separated shoulder injury where he had to sit out a couple of games. But this kid's a tank. I mean, he can just truck right through it, and he's just all power. And he has speed to his arsenal as well. He's caught a few big touchdowns on some seam routes this year, and so he can contribute in the passing game as well. And he's just a force on the ground.
And I think when we talk about these two guys, it highlights what Coach Newton is always trying to do with this Mustang offense, and that's control the ball, to dictate the pace of play to what they want to do, control time, control field position, and grind out long touchdown or scoring drives, and so that's what we're going to expect tonight. We know, the Packers can be explosive. We saw Peyton McGregor a few weeks ago just go off and have over 200 yards of receiving yards, a school record. When you think of some of the Packer receivers that have played in the past, it might be shocking that Peyton McGregor is the record holder, but Cheyenne's going to want to control the ball as much as possible tonight, and kind of dictate to West Fargo how they're going to have to defend, and if they can put them down by a couple of scores, maybe you let men's really get after the quarterback and you sit back in passing lanes and try and disrupt whatever West Fargo's going to try and do offensively.
Well, that's been head coach Jeremy Newton's style, the past 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, just pound it on the ground and wear out the defense, fatigue them. 8 to 12 minute drives sometimes. That it can take up a whole quarter. I mean, we saw it last year. Some of their drives took up the entire quarter, and then they score, and then they get a 3-and-out stop. So the other team does not have time to have possession of the ball, and the Mustangs just take up the clock, and they already have the lead too. It's just it's hard to beat.
And they had the big guys up front that just wore down defensive lines and linebackers.
Yeah, the offensive line.
And that offensive line was good. And I think this offensive line is kind of also starting to find its stride. So sure going to be a good one tonight. Anytime the Packers and the Mustangs play, like we said, the old cliche, you throw the records out the window, but this will be a good one, that's for sure.
That's going to do it for our Essentia Health pregame show. We are going to direct our attention now down to the PA and for the national anthem and the starting lineups.
Student-athletes and representatives of their communities, the Mustangs and Packers are committed to fair play, responsibility, and respect. They invite you to support their efforts. Together, let us all help create an environment for high school competition that we can be proud of. Working the chains tonight are Matt Clayman, Mark Woodbury, Raleigh Swedberg, and Aaron Thielgis. And up in the press box, we have Jacoby Blajic, Kyle Benjamin, Darren Bardall, and my name is Cameron Holland. I'm proud to be the voice of the Mustangs. A huge thank you to all event staff for helping organize tonight's event. Also a special thank you to our Mustang rider, Kenzie Richardson, and her 13-year-old Frisian sport horse mare, Daisy. She loves just about everything except coming inside the barn from her pasture. Kenzie has been riding since she was 5 years old and competes in multiple events all over the upper Midwest. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand if you are able, remove any headwear, and remain at attention as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by the Cheyenne Pep Band under the direction of Mr. James Landman. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's cheer teams. First, for the visiting West Fargo Packers, Sam Gustafson, Amber Calderon, Sophia Franson, Angelise Lankford, E. Ba, Lila Fickner, America Calderon, Michelle G., Savannah Whaley, and Lily Ing. Now let's meet the Cheyenne Mustangs cheer team. Abby Chesser, Akila Weddy, Alyssa Hungerholtz, Angela Clark, Bernita Paya, Brooke Markworth, Series Lee, Charlotte Madriga, Claire Upton, Izzy Wedding, Catherine Madriga, Larissa Reynolds, Linnea Proctor, Logan Messmer, Mia Wenzel, Mirakut, Peyton Zeman, Prevail Fernando, and Tia Madriga. Once again, Cheyenne won the toss of the coin and have elected to defer to the second half. Let's meet the offensive starters for the visiting West Fargo Packers. At split end, a junior, number 20, Keaton McGregor. At left tackle, a senior, number 69, McCrae Braun. At left guard, a junior, number 71, Aiden Lamb. At center, a senior, number 63, Carson Forty. At right guard, a junior, number 52, Logan Moore. At right tackle, a senior, number 79, Connor Lamb. At tight end, a junior, number 81, Tony Leal. At flanker, a senior, number 5, Peyton McGregor. At halfback, a senior, number 35, Josh Ballstad. At tailback, a senior, number 2, Max Fowl. And at quarterback, a senior, number 1, Cole Tiedemann. West Fargo Packers head coach is Jay Gibson, assisted by Brandon Metz, Mike Best, Nate Knutson, Adam Polcheski, Mike
Mustangs, as the Mustangs elected to defer to the second half as they won the toss.
And now let's meet the defensive
Carter Menz, DN, out of the Horace Elementary.
Mason Hart, D tackle, D South Elementary.
Ryder Weigel, nose guard, Freedom Elementary.
Chase Otterson, D end, the Horace Elementary. Buzz Buzz.
Nick Renner, middle linebacker, the Horace Hornets. Buzz Buzz.
Ross Olson, linebacker, the Oak Grove Elementary.
Kason Menz, linebacker, the Horace Elementary.
Tosh Lichting, cornerback, South Elementary. Go Stars.
Connor Matthewens the first, cornerback, the Freedom Elementary.
Noah Olson, strong safety, the Horace Elementary.
Marcus Johnson, free safety, the Horace Elementary. Boys.
senior number 2, Ty Schlichting. At quarterback, a senior number 6, Connor Entz.
So, Dan, we are just moments away here from kickoff, and, you know, it's as we were talking about the weather, it's 45 degrees out right now and just a slight breeze, 6 miles an hour coming out of the west. So
probably everyone thankful for that the breeze is light, because it is chilly, and those pads, those tackles, that's going to stink tonight. But I don't think any of these players are going to be worrying about that playing against their crosstown rivals. So this should be a good one. We're going to see, you know, we mentioned Peyton McGregor in the big game he had offensively as a receiver a few weeks ago for the Packers. We'll see how they're going to look to open things up. We did see Shanley have some success through the air against the Mustang defense early on in that matchup. So we'll see if Coach Jay Gibson's going to go to the air early, or if he's going to try and grind some things out on the ground for the Packers.
So as I stated just a moment ago, Cheyenne won the toss and they elected to defer, so they'll get the second half kickoff.
Quick reminder to all you Mustang fans that there is a social being hosted by the Mustang Boosters at the Brutus Clubhouse at Osgood Golf Course after this game. It is open to anyone 21 and over, so if you're interested, maybe learning about some of the great things that the Mustang Boosters do for athletes and all students at West Fargo Cheyenne. All Mustang fans are invited to the Booster Social at Brutus Clubhouse immediately following the game.
So the theme tonight for the student section for the Mustangs is pink. It's for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as it is now October. So we got a pretty packed attendance tonight here.
I don't think the cool temperatures kept too many away tonight. as you would expect anytime the Packers and the Mustangs square off in any type of contest, usually the attendance is...
It's 2 West Fargo teams. You got to be there.
And throughout the game, we'll, as we are able to find out some information, we'll also try and get you some updates as the game goes along as to the Davies and Shanley game that is going on across town.
We are underway, and it looks like the Mustangs, they say they have it. Great kick by Chase Allen to start off the game.
That pooch kick.
A little pooch kick.
Packer
And
came
the Mustangs
up to try
do have
and grab it and just couldn't reel it in. And,
what a start.
Dream scenario for the Mustangs.
So that's a quick change, and we're going to meet the offensive starting lineups here for the Mustangs.
Aiden Knodel, wide receiver, Independence Bulldogs. Let's ride.
Carter Okerson, left guard, Independence Elementary.
Bryce Kane, left tackle, Lucien Park Elementary.
Mason Hart, right guard, the South Elementary.
Logan Wickenizer, center, the Horace Elementary. Buzz.
Kid Petchak, right tackle, Freedom Elementary.
Dylan Bile, wide receiver, Freedom Elementary.
Caden Ron, running back, Freedom Elementary.
Race Wilson, slot back, out of D, Freedom Elementary.
Caleb Jerry, quarterback, Aurora Elementary.
Isaac Kanega, fullback, Independence Elementary. Go Bulldogs.
From the 35.
So we're back after meeting the starting offensive lineup there. Quick, what a start. Great pooch kick by Chase Allen there to get the ball right away and get the first offensive possession despite deferring. Here's going to be a little carry here. Up the middle by Race Wilson. He breaks free. Oh, almost broke free there for a touchdown, but gets tackled down at the 20.
Going to pick up about 20 on that carry. Almost squirted free there. And, Jackson, we see that being pretty much the typical scenario for the Mustangs on all of their kickoffs. And, some people might wonder why you do that. You're giving a defense or the opposing offense such good field position, but that's the exact purpose of it, is sometimes those get hard to handle, and it works out for the Mustangs here. Now we see Caden Rahr.
And he's going to try to force his way up, the right side there. Great gain.
Looks like he picks up about 5 or 6 on that one, and that's exactly what the Mustangs are going to try to do, just grind out chunk yardage on the ground, make sure that they end up with second and short, third and short type of situations, and that's probably when you're going to see Caleb Deere maybe take a shot up the field when you get those good situations, those good looks.
Yep. This is going to go to Wilson again.
That should be enough for a first down. So 3 offensive plays, 3 runs, 2 by Wilson, 1 by Rahr, the guys that we kind of highlighted at the beginning of the game, 2 first downs. Mustangs inside the red zone here. They can pick up 1 first down yet at about the 3 or about the 2.5.
First and 10 for the Mustangs from the 12-yard line.
First and 10 from the 12. This one's going to go to Wilson again.
Wilson, yep.
To the left side.
Boy,
2 times in a row there for Wilson.
I think that probably doesn't bode well for you if you're the Packers. Already you gave up the opening kickoff, and we haven't seen anything less than about 5 yards on any run so far by the Mustangs. You don't want to give up big chunks like this to start things off and put yourself in a hole.
This one's going to go to Wilson again, and he's trying to get up there close to around the 2-3 yard line.
That was a better job by the Packers that time, filling that gap, coming up and holding Wilson to only a gain of 1.
From the 5-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd down here coming up from the 5.
Again, Cheyenne can still get a first down here.
It's going to go to Wilson again. What do you know? And Wilson is in for the touchdown right away. Race Wilson punches it in, and the Mustangs are on the board.
So that's exactly the scenario you're asking for if you're Cheyenne. You turn the Packers over quickly, march straight down the field, 6 plays, touchdown, and now you put the Packers in a hole on your home field.
Chase Allen, who has not missed an extra point all season so far, trying to keep that perfect streak alive. The only kick he's missed was a field goal this year. And that kick is up and good, and the Mustangs have an early 7-0 start. 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We're going to take a short break and be back.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
So what a start we have here for you folks tonight here on Mustang Media. The Mustangs recovered the opening kickoff, and they just marched down the field. One of the fastest drives we've seen by the Mustangs in a while, and Race Wilson got like 4 or 5 carries, and he punches it in for the first touchdown of the evening. Chase Allen punched it through for the extra point. He's still perfect on PATs this year. Let's see if he can have another good pooch kick, and maybe, who knows, what are the chances to get 2 recovered kicks? We're going to go to that pooch kick again to the right side. This time it's going to be received just behind the 35.
Good
Tackled
coverage,
early.
Yep, good coverage by the special teams there, the kick team. Packers will have the ball at about the 35 to start their first drive here, and we'll see what Jay Gibson has dialed up for the Mustangs on offense. Or, I'm sorry, for the Packers, and we'll see how the Mustangs counter that defensively here.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 right around the 35. It's going to be a run up the middle, and quick gain right away in the Packers. And they have an early start offensively. What a run up the left sideline there.
Max foul on that one, yeah. You know, and that was something we saw a lot from Shanley, that pro set with 3-4 receivers, really spreading that defense out for the Mustangs and looking to see if you can hit something quickly. Once you get through that first level, you get through that defensive line. There's not a lot of backers. There's not a lot of defensive backs in the area to come up and support. So it's going to be important for Cheyenne here to kind of hold that line and plug the gaps.
That run was around 35 yards. Up to the Mustangs 30. And Tiedemann's going to roll to his right, and he's going to fire, and it's picked off! What an interception! And this is going to be a pick 6. And the Mustangs are going to get a 2-score lead. What a start! That was by Ty Schlichting.
Marcus Johnson,
excuse me.
Stepped right in front, read that beautifully, stepped right in front. And just the one Packer defender, just Tiedemann, I think, was the only one who could potentially make a play, and he had a blocker, and just like that.
Yeah, I hate to miscall that. Yeah, it looked like number 2 at first, but then I couldn't see the number 1, and then it turns out, yes, it is number 21. It's Marcus Johnson with the pick 6 there, and it's a 2-score lead for the Mustangs.
And in the excitement, waiting for let's
just run that back quick. So the Mustangs, they recover a kickoff, march down with the touchdown, and then Max Fowl with the big run, and then there's a pick 6 by the Mustangs for Marcus Johnson.
And that one is good as well.
Chase Allen remains perfect on PATs. It's a 14-0 start here. We're going to take a short break. The Mustangs coming out hot early. So Dan, we're pretty fired up here in the booth. It's been this is probably one of the most exciting starts we've seen. Probably the most exciting start we've seen all year. And Mustangs drive down early, and then you know, the Packers had a huge run there by foul, and then all of a sudden Tiedemann rolls out to the right, and Marcus Johnson was able to return that for a pick 6. He picked it off and returned it for 6. Boy, that's there's nothing wrong with that. I thought it was Ty Schlichting at first, but so I miscalled it. That was my fault. It looks like number 2 there, and then we saw the number 1 right next to the number 2, number 21, Marcus Johnson. That was a good moment for him, and boy, he was looking pretty fast there on that pick 6.
He was.
He knew he was gone.
He set up that block perfectly, and then away he went. Packers just covered that one up at the 30, and probably, you know, a lot of talk here, I would think, from Jay Gibson saying, you know, okay, let's just settle down. We've kind of dug ourselves a hole. You can't get it all back at once, and let's just kind of try and put a successful drive together here. But, you know, they've only run 2 offensive plays, and they're already down 14 points early in this game.
We're not even 4 minutes into this game. There's 8:15 to go here in the first quarter, so we're 3 minutes and 45 seconds, or excuse me, yeah, 45 seconds coming into this. So hopefully, let's see if Tiedemann can bounce back for the Packers. But the Mustangs right now, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. You know, 14-0. Don't suddenly get too comfortable. Just keep applying pressure.
That's right. You got to keep your foot down on this and keep going. It is very early in the game, and that's one thing to keep in mind for the Mustangs, that this is a dream start for them. But there's a lot of football left to be played in this game, so you have to keep this pressure and this intensity up.
It's going to go to number 27, Tyler Porter.
That's 2 now for Porter. We haven't seen Max foul here. I don't know if there's some kind of issue for him, if he's maybe nursing a little injury or something. But we've seen Porter on both of these carries here. And if you don't have Max foul, that adds to the woes for the Packers at this point. If you don't have Max foul, you're your number 1 running back.
So 3rd down, 3rd and 5. That's going to be a false start. So it's going to be 3rd and long now.
That was Keaton McGregor. He was split wide right by himself, and that's going to be a false start on that one.
Illegal procedures to call against the Packers. 5-yard penalty. We'll make it 3rd.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 30. So pretty kind of, you know, sort of deep in their own territory. Wouldn't be surprised if the Packers go to the air here. And Tiedemann's going to roll to the left now. He looks deep. He's trying to find a man, and it's incomplete.
Not a bad pass, just
looking for Peyton McGregor there.
McGregor couldn't haul it in, but he was double covered. Mustang saw that one coming the whole way.
By Ty and Noah. Ty Schlichting and Noah Olson.
So
with the coverage.
Packers have much choice here, being backed up 4th and 10, deep in your own end of the field. I think they're going to have to punt.
Number 90, Carter Donner. Dylan Bile and Race Wilson are deep to receive for the Mustangs.
Decent punt here. Bounces all the way back to the 35, in between the 34 and 35. And that's where the Mustangs will begin their 2nd offensive drive.
Mustangs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35.
So let's see. Wouldn't be surprised if they go to Wilson a lot on this drive
Wilson
again.
and Rahr was all we saw in the first drive for the Mustangs, albeit they had the great field position, much longer field in front of them here, but I would expect we're going to see much of the same. We also see Isaac Kanega in the background, in the backfield here as well, and he's going to get the fake pitch, and then or the fake the handoff, a pitch out to Wilson, and that's going to go for a minimal gain, maybe a yard on that one.
Yeah,
a gain of only 1 yard there. Yeah, this drive, Dan, will probably be slightly longer than that first offensive
well, and you would think
possession.
so, and you know, pretty much aside from Rahr's run, everything has been to the left at this point, as we see Isaac Kanega blast through.
Nice run.
And get a first down for the Mustangs. Gain of 10 on that one, and they're going to move the chains.
And what a force he is. 6'1", 210 pounds, squats 515 pounds. Jeez, that's insane to be able to do that as a senior in high school. I mean, 17, 18 years old. Not many of those in the world can do that. This is going to go to Wilson. He's going to get up to the 50, so at the midway point on the field.
Pick up a 4 on that one. Again, a lot of plays coming up to that left side. Seems to be the Mustang area that they're focusing on thus far. And not a single pass play yet, but when you're moving the ball like this and you have a 14-0 lead, Jackson, why would a person ever need to throw a pass?
Absolutely. So it's going to go to Kanega again.
Yep. Almost a first down, so that's going to bring up third and very short, less than a yard. That's exactly what Cheyenne's going to look to have, those third and easy opportunities. See if they can convert, keep the chains moving, and keep the clock moving, as we're still just only 7 minutes into this first quarter. There's been a lot of action already, but we're still just barely halfway. We're past the halfway point of the first quarter.
And yeah, I mean, really, that is the most exciting start we've seen this year, and probably one of the most exciting starts we've seen in all the games we've called. I mean, boy, that was just a lot. I mean, to go from a big max foul run there to just suddenly a pick 6 by Marcus Johnson is just, that was just a tables turned very quickly.
You know, it looked like West Fargo had kind of settled things down, and we're making some good progress, and then that pick 6 just undid all that work, and there's a big run on first down, gain of 8. Race Wilson again.
Gain of 7 on the play brings up second and
tackled by Max Foul there.
Boy, I would think Race Wilson is already on a Josh Henricks type of number of carries here. Wilson's already got to have about 6 or 7 carries with just under 4 minutes left in the first half. And until I'm sure Coach Newton is going to say, until you prove that you can stop what we're doing, there's no reason to go away from it.
Don't fix what isn't broken.
Like pretty much no gain or maybe a small loss there.
Yeah, Race Wilson was kind of just stuffed there at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot to go there.
So about 3rd and 4, or short 4, long 3 on this. Is this the time we're going to see Deer look for a pass for the first time? Nope, they keep it on the ground again.
It's going to go to Isaac Hanega again.
And they move the
chains. He's looking pretty good, despite him rolling his ankle last week against Minot.
Yeah, it doesn't show any signs of it from what we've seen thus far.
Minot, compared to last year, I mean, we blew them out 37-0, but this year they're looking like a different team. I mean, we were up 14-0, and then Minot was able to tie up the game at 14 apiece, and that's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dylan Bile there.
Yeah, Bile, that hit him right in the hands. That one probably should have pulled that one in. Wasn't going to probably go for a touchdown, but he was going to get a good gain on that and zip that one in. Maybe got in on Bile a little faster than what he was expecting, but still, anytime you get both hands on the ball that cleanly, Bile, I'm sure, would say that I probably should have had that one. So a 2nd and 10 here.
It's going to go up the middle again.
That's Kanega. Yep. Gain of 2 for that one. So again, that read option, Deer's feeling like he's seeing something there, and by and large he has. Kanega's gotten quite a few chunk plays so far, and the only time that Deer has held the ball and then strung the play out and went for a pitch, it went to Wilson for a minimal gain. So pretty much all the yardage that Cheyenne has been able to accumulate this far has been between the tackles or just off tackle.
Wilson in motion, and Deer's going to keep it now to the left side. He breaks it, tackling, he gets stuffed there. Oh! Big hit there. Peyton
Yeah.
McGregor doing it on both. He can do it on both sides of the ball. And this kid, I mean, I'm telling you, he can be very feisty. I mean, he's not the biggest kid. He stands around 5'9", but boy, he's got speed, athleticism. He can jump, and he can hit. And he's super strong.
And that was a good job by the Packer defense there. They had guys on the inside, and it forced Deere to try and bounce it outside. And then they had two Packers, McGregor there waiting for him to put that one away. So 4th and 10 here for the Mustangs. It's going to be a pass for Deere.
He's going to roll out to the right, and Deere connects with Dylan Bile there.
Great find, and it looks like going to be just enough where they're going to measure this guy. Great find by Deere.
Oh, he just snuck it right in.
Throwing in on the run and finding between two Packers. Bile found a little seam between two Packers, and Deere did a great job of threading the needle there and getting it in. We're going to see here in just a moment if it's going to be good enough for a first down.
That was really close. It's going to be a nice first down pickup if it is indeed a first down for the Mustangs. Minute 28 to go here in the first quarter.
Just short.
Just short.
They took a while. The Packer players right away were saying they didn't get it, and the refs looked at it for a little bit, and they determined that indeed Cheyenne came up just short on that one. So good stop by the Packers there. It was a great play by Cheyenne. Just Bile was maybe 6 inches short, maybe not even that, of converting on fourth down.
Yeah, that was close. So the ball's going to be spotted.
Right about the
19-yard line. It's going to be a run up the middle.
So I think that's foul back this time. For whatever reason, he wasn't on the field for the last series for the Packers. A couple yards on that one, 2.5 maybe, something like that. And that first run by foul was a similar play, but Cheyenne doing a much better job of just plugging those holes. And you only have two backers on the inside there because of the spread formation that West Fargo runs quite a bit. That means you've got to do your job on the line and hold your man. You can't get pushed around.
Tiedemann rolls out to the right, and he's looking deep for McGregor, and he has him. It's completed, and Peyton McGregor with a big-time reception.
And he got that step, and that was a nice pass by Tiedemann, just floated over the top. Good deep ball there. Actually, McGregor had to even maybe slow down just half a step for that. Had he caught him in stride, maybe West Fargo could have gotten a little more out of that. But as it was, still a great completion. And now just over midfield for the Packers as they move into Mustang territory.
Ball set in motion. Tiedemann rolls out to his left, looking
Got him
deep again. And this time just too strong, too far out in front of McGregor, but that was close. Ty Schlichting there covering McGregor.
Gonna have to, I would think if you're Cheyenne, you almost have to be at a point where you're gonna say, let's not let Peyton McGregor beat us. Let's not let him get behind us, keep everything in front of us. And, it's hard when you're a D-back or a linebacker and you see that play action kind of look. It's hard not to want to bite on that, but that's where that discipline comes in. And it looks like, it's going to be Schlichting pretty much matched up with McGregor defensively all night.
This one's going to go to the right, and that's going to go to Leighton Hoffland. Boy, that's an interesting switch. I've known Lane for quite some time. I've known him since, I was in 4th grade. And, boy, he's played quarterback for most of his football career, but looks like he switched to running back.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Cheyenne leading 14-0, but the Packers driving.
Yeah.
We're going to step away for a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere, folks. It's going to be a good one tonight. We're back here. The second quarter is about to get underway. Mustang fans, we want to take the time to thank Essentia Health for being the proud sponsor of our Sheyenne High School's Mustang media team and this broadcast. Essentia Health, care close to home. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 here, just a little across midfield here. And Tiedemann's going to be a quick pump fake there. He's going to roll to his right, gets rid of it, and passes incomplete. It was intended for Peyton McGregor, broken up. So 4th down now.
Good hit by Chase Otterson on Tiedemann to remind him that it was smart on his part to get rid of it, but he paid the price there. At 4th and 5 on this side of the field, you're pretty much 4-down territory, I think, if you're the Packers, especially down 14-zip. Like Tiedemann's trying to get things figured out, and West Fargo's going to have to burn a timeout.
We'll step away for another short break. Mustangs still lead 14-0. We'll be back after this short timeout by the Packers.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to pick up your 50/50 raffle tickets.
We're back, folks. We just got a scoring update. Davies just took the lead against Shanley, and they lead 21-14. So that's another good matchup taking place here in town tonight.
All right, 4th down for the Packers. Tiedemann looking for McGregor. Just behind him, McGregor did a good job of getting up. Packer player asking for a flag there.
Yeah, Josh Ballstead was wondering what was going on.
Maybe thinking that maybe Schlichting got a little handful of jersey on McGregor's break out of that route, but he still had a chance. It was just thrown behind him, and McGregor gave a good effort, but unable to haul it in. Packers turn it over on downs, and so the Mustangs get it at their own 43.
This one's going to go to Kanega to the right side, and that's going to be up to the 45, so a couple yards on that carry for Kanega.
And number 67. Gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 8.
Caleb Deere play action. He's trying to find a man. He scrambles to the right side, and he's got a lane, and he gets out of bounds.
Smart play by Deere as he got flush from the pocket there and got around the outside. Looked like he actually had more room to run than he did. Good job by the Packers closing that up, but still able to rattle off 6 on that one and bring it down to a 3rd and manageable 2 for the Mustangs.
So 7-yard gain there
for the Mustangs.
for Caleb Deere. He leads he's one of the top leaders in rushing touchdowns in the EDCAA so far this season. He's top 2 in rushing yards, as we were talking about in our Essentia Health pregame show. It's Wilson and Deere at the top 2 spots in rushing yards. And that's going to be a 1st down for the Mustangs, and they'll move the chains.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the Packers 44.
It's going to be 1st and 10 now from the Packers 44. This one will go to Wilson to the left side once again, and Wilson, great spin move, just gets tripped up. That's Wilson showing his ability to make defenders miss.
Gain of 6 on that one. Again, using that left side. Now we haven't seen much from Rory. Got that carry on that first drive and got a good chunky yardage. We haven't seen anything from Caden. They've not given him the ball since. It's pretty much been Wilson and Kanega on all the runs. We'll see here if Roar gets an opportunity to handle the ball.
This one will go to Kanega again. He gets tripped up right across the line of scrimmage there.
Isaac Kanega on the carry for the Mustangs.
Short gain, about 2.5 left on 3rd down for the Mustangs.
Quarter on the stop for the Packers.
Packers have a lot of players that go 2 ways for them. You've got Fowl going both ways, Porter going both ways, McGregor. So the Packers using a lot more 2-way players than the Mustangs.
Play action pass here by Deere. He's going to roll to his left to try to escape the defender, and he's going to keep it on the left side this time, and he gets a great gain. And that's going to be a 1st down.
He had 2 guys running up the seam that were open for a second there, but I think some pressure by the Packers made him have to pull it down, and then once he got outside the pocket, found a lot of room to run. Good heads-up play by Caleb Deere there, getting down to the 26-yard line of the Packers. And a new set of downs for the Mustangs.
As you can see in the left-hand bottom corner of your screen, make sure you subscribe to Mustang Media so you can get notifications on when we go live for our streams. This is going to go to Wilson again. He's going to cut back to his right after going up the left side initially.
Yeah, he cut her up the middle. Still, gain of a few. Keep that down marker moving forward if you're Cheyenne, and that's going to give you good opportunities, good looks. So the game is kind of evened out here with slowed down a little bit. Probably unrealistic to expect it to be 2 touchdowns every 4 minutes the way we started the game, but both teams kind of finding their stride here and trying to work things out both offensively and defensively.
And Deere's going to roll to his
good
right.
Move,
Great juke there, and Deere's going to break free for a rushing touchdown.
Excellent job by Deere. He juked that player. He made it look like he was going to go straight upfield. Gave that little juke to the inside and then kicked it outside and had a host of blockers, and it was clear sailing in. And the Mustangs go up 20-0 pending the extra point here.
Boy, that's probably the nastiest play I've seen Caleb Deere make this season. I mean, that juke, whew. Another highlight reel there. Snap is good, spot is good, kick is up, and it is good. And Chase Allen is 3 for 3 this evening on PATs, remains perfect in that category. 21-0, the Mustangs lead, and this is just looking, looking good. And it's something you expect from the Mustangs, just to come out early like this, and they're just, they've just been utterly dominant against, opponents, especially on this home turf. They haven't lost since this turf was put in back in 2019, the first year the Mustangs made the state championship or the Dakota Bowl. Caleb Deere with his 8th rushing touchdown just a moment ago. His 8th rushing touchdown on the season. That's
this is getting
he's
into
a dual threat quarterback.
He is. He definitely is. And even on some of those pass plays we've seen Jackson, he's been flushed out of that pocket, and he makes something out of it with his legs. And I think he's starting to make some really smart decisions by not just because it's a pass play, I have to unload this at somebody. He's kind of recognizing when there's something there and when there isn't anything there, and making some good, smart, positive plays out of this. The Packers, you're down 21-0 already with almost 9 minutes left in the second quarter. You're going to have to make something happen here pretty quickly. And if you don't, this is going to turn ugly, I think, pretty quickly. So Fowl brings that one in. Again, good starting field position, as is usually the case with the pooch kick. Packers take over at their own 44.
Packers will start this possession 1st and 10.
Yeah, this offensive drive is going to be huge. You're in a hole early here in the first half, 21-0. You got to make something happen here on this drive and try to cut that lead down to 2 scores.
Yeah, I think you've got to use some time here, and you've got to walk away with something for points, if at all possible here. If you're the Packers, and I think for Cheyenne, make sure that McGregor doesn't get behind you and make West Fargo earn it on the ground.
There's going to be a flag here.
False start on the Packers. Back them up, and now 1st and 15. That's not the way you want to start an important drive.
Shooting yourself in the foot like that is not what you want. Ball's going to be placed at the Packers 39. So it's going to be 1st and 15 now to start out their drive.
Only 9 seconds on the play clock. I think West Fargo is going to burn timeout number 2 here in the first half to make sure that they have something that they like.
Yeah, they seem a little flustered. So no, they're going to see if they can get organized. Mustangs lead 21-0 with 8:36 to go here in the first half. We'll be back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen. For the Packers from their 39.
So it's going to be 1st and long here after the false start. 1st and 15 from the 39. Packers trying to make something happen here. Tiedemann's he's going to get sacked by Noah Olson in the backfield.
Noah Olson came up on that, and Tiedemann didn't recognize it. The running back there, I think it was Porter, recognized and got a piece of Noah, but Noah blitzed on that one, came up from the backside of Tiedemann's, able to take him down, and now a 2nd and 19.
Besides a couple big plays by Fowl and McGregor, it's been a nightmare for the Packers so far.
I think that was Riley Hoffman on that one.
Number 25, Ashton Schaff on the stop.
Ashton Schaff with the tackle.
It's
3rd and 15. You know, if you're West Fargo, you don't need to try and get the first here in one chunk, but you're going to have to get a big gain if you're going to have a chance, if you have any plans of going for this on 4th. As we see.
Yep, Tiedemann's going to roll to his right, and he's
Menz,
pressured, and he's sacked, and Carter Menz with another sack.
Wow, did Menz close on him quickly.
His 8th of the year.
Tiedemann barely had time to set his feet, and he saw Menz was bearing down on him, and no chance to get away from him. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick Renner.
It was Nick Renner on
coming up on a blitz from the linebacker position. Well, at 4th and 25, you have to punt, and this is probably a worst-case scenario for West Fargo. Now you're going to give Cheyenne the ball, a chance maybe to run out the half. If Cheyenne's able to score, they're going to get a 2-for-1 because Cheyenne gets the ball to start the second half, and not a great punt.
Yeah, very short.
Good bounce though for the Packers.
And
Real good bounce.
It's going to be inside the 30 at around the 28. Boy,
I think about half of the distance on that putt was the bounce. But yeah, the defense
doing its job.
Yeah, a couple of blitzes on that sequence there. One from Noah Olson, one from Renner that able just to get in on the on Tiedemann before he's able to do anything. Both of them were pass plays, so good job by the Mustang staff there dialing up the blitzes at the right time.
It's going to be a run up the middle by Isaac Hanega.
Tyler Porter and Dustin Hunsicker on the tackle for West Fargo. Short gain on the play. Bring up 2nd and 8.5.
About 6 minutes left here in the half. Cheyenne, I'm sure, looking to see if they can tack on one more score of some kind before halftime, but also you want to be careful with this. You don't want to be reckless and turn the ball over deep in your own territory.
Wilson in motion. And Caleb Deere's going to look to his left, and he is pressured. He breaks free, though, and he gets rid of it, and he connects.
I think that was Rahr.
With Caden Rahr.
You know, Deere has not really had any time to set up and really survey the field. Every time he's dropped back, you know, that 7-step drop, he's had at least one Packer coming for him every time.
He's just quick, though. I mean, he's got long legs, and he's able to cover a lot of ground.
He's shifty. You know, I think this is something that maybe Cheyenne could use against the Packers, that aggressiveness upfield into maybe some kind of little screenplay later in the half.
And Kanegas has no lane absolute at all.
He's swallowed up there, and that'll bring about a 4th and 4 at your own 35. That's probably a punt situation when you're less than 5 minutes left in the half.
So it's going to be the first 3-and-out stop for the West Fargo Packers with 4:48 to go here in the first half.
Deep to receive for the Packers is number 5, Peyton McGregor.
And Peyton McGregor, what do you know? He's back to receive the punt. McGregor trying to look for a lane there, gets up to the 45.
Peyton McGregor on the return for the Packers.
So good field position with 4.5 minutes to go here. West Fargo going to want to try and get something here. Cheyenne gets the ball to start the second half, so you're going to have to make something happen here.
West Fargo High will begin this possession 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line.
And West Fargo burned 2 of their timeouts already in the half, so they only have 1 left. So they're going to have to make sure that they're managing the clock here as well as they start this drive.
Well,
slant play there.
Too strong, looking for Tony Leal.
Yeah, just a slant and a little high. You know, you got to wonder if maybe it's in the back of Tiedemann's head. He hasn't had time to set his feet and get a good pass off the last few times he's dropped back and maybe rush that one a little bit. 2nd and 10 for the Packers from the 45.
Tiedemann looking for, Carter Mentz coming, gives Tiedemann a big hit there in the backfield. Carter Mentz applying pressure there.
Flushed him out, and Tiedemann just got rid of that. No chance for anyone to make a play as that was thrown into the Packer bench area. 3rd and 10.
Third and 10 from the 45. It's going to go up the
middle
there to.
Good run.
Yeah,
good hard run.
Fighting.
Gain of about 5 there by foul. 4th and 5 from midfield. Jackson at 4 minutes left. You might as well go for this.
After a decent run there, that was actually by Tyler Porter.
Oh, that was Porter.
Like.
Okay.
Yep, Tyler Porter, number 27. Yeah, I mean, you know, you're down 21-0 with 3:50 to go here in the first half. You got to do something here, and you might as well take a chance and take a risk. I mean, because you don't got really nothing to lose here.
You're already in such a big hole.
Tiedemann scrambling for his life there in the backfield, and he has nowhere to go.
And that's going to be a turnover on 4 downs, 4 and out for.
And hey, now the Mustangs are going to be into Packers.
Right at midfield.
So right at midfield.
Short field with 3:33 and all 3 timeouts should certainly be an opportunity for Cheyenne to get a score.
It's going to be deep. It's going to be in Packers territory here across midfield. So, yeah, plenty of time. And that first drive we saw, I mean, Wilson with the 4 or 5 carries and Rahr with a couple of his own, and Wilson punching it in. That was just one of the smoothest drives we've seen all year from the Mustangs. And this one's going to be an option here. And Deere's going to decide to keep it, and he's going to get a nice gain up to the 40.
That was a nice job by Deere really selling the possibility of the pitch to Barry, and everyone seemed to follow that, and then he picks the right time, cuts it up, gets a first down out of it, 10 yards on the gain. About 3 minutes to go here, just over 3. Packers still doing a nice job of clogging the middle. That's where they were getting gouged early on, and they've tightened that up a little bit. But you do those to keep them honest, to make sure that they know that you're still willing to run that play. Oh, little
That's
reverse.
it's going to go to Wilson. He breaks down, and he gets tackled there by Ballstead.
That was good contained by the defensive end, by the Packers. Stayed home, forced Wilson to the inside, and then into the waiting arms of Ballstead. So what looked like for a second, it might be something big for the Mustangs. The defensive end stays home, turns him inside just like you're taught. And Race Wilson runs into Ballstead. So we've got 3rd and about 6 here, with 2:08 to go in the first half. And string this one out again and cut it upfield.
Yeah.
And that's enough to move the chains again. At some point, those Packer defenders are going to have to respect Deere and stay with him and force that pitch and use that sideline like an extra defender. Because right now it is. Right now they're sliding with that pitch man. They're worrying about that, and then Deere is just using their momentum against them and cutting up field behind them. And that's twice on this drive alone that he's been able to convert that into first downs.
So it's going to go to Pinu, and he gets tripped up there. Had a lot of steam rolling downhill there, just was tripped up.
So at a minute 24, Cheyenne still not using the timeouts. 2nd and 8 from about the 27 of the Packers. It's going to be about a minute left when they snap this play.
This one will go to Wilson up the middle, and he picks up just a few. It's going to be 3rd and around mid-distance there, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
And there's the first time out by the Mustangs, as they're going to have about a 3rd and 4-ish, something like
if
that.
They can come up with a trick up their sleeve.
Yeah.
We'll take a short break as well. Mustangs lead 21-0 with 51 seconds to go here in the second half. We're back after the timeout by head coach Jeremy Newton. Mustangs maybe have a little trick up their sleeve here. It's going to be around 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. 51 seconds to go here in the first half. See if they can punch it in for a 4th touchdown. Have a 28-0 lead going into the break. And Deere's going to look deep, and he cuts up the middle, and Deere finds a lane, and he gets kind of a big hit there.
Yeah, hit hard, but he picks up the first down at 44 seconds.
Yeah,
and they're going to keep it going. Cheyenne not going to burn a timeout here. They hustle to the line.
Deere's going to drop back, and he's going to look to his right, and pass is
a little bit behind Bile.
Yep.
Hit Knodel open on the far side of the field. Maybe not an angle for a touchdown, but maybe a chance for a connection. But either way, it'll bring up 2nd and 10 with a stop clock at 34 seconds.
So that does buy you a little time.
2nd and 10 for the Mustangs from the Packers 17.
2nd and 10 from the 17, 34 seconds. 4 receivers. It's going to be a quick pass to Wilson. This is the
Little
play scored on
bubble
against
screen,
Shanley, and
and there it
Wilson's going
is.
to get in for the touchdown. Another touchdown, 1 on the ground and 1 through the air for Race Wilson. And the Mustangs have a 4-score lead.
Again, Jackson, that one hurts so much worse for the Packers because they know Cheyenne gets the ball to start the second half. So Cheyenne able to punch one in, less than 30 seconds, really no time for West Fargo to do much with anything except maybe throw the ball long. If they can cover that up, they know they get the ball coming out of halftime, up 28-0. Really exactly what you're hoping for if you're Coach Newton and his staff.
Extra point is good. Mustangs lead 28-0, a whopping 4-score lead, and Jay Sadler remains perfect on PATs, 4 for 4 this evening. And Race Wilson now with the opening touchdown on the ground, and now 1 through the air. The little old short dump pass there that Wilson, we saw Wilson score on against Shanley, and now he gets another one here against West Fargo.
A little bubble screen. You can just run interference on the outside. Wilson comes in, catches it, and just picks his way through the defense, and that's what he's so good at. He has great vision and knows how to hit the gas when he needs to, and he just cuts through the Packer D and converts on a 17-yard touchdown strike from Caleb Deere.
Race Wilson, he's also the leading receiver for this Mustang squad. So, it's a good feeling as a quarterback for Caleb Deere to know that you have a running back that can contribute on the ground and in the passing game as well.
And both only juniors.
That too.
That's.
I mean, Wilson is Deere's favorite target.
Yeah. To know you're going to have those two both around for another year, as Powell's going to take that one. Shakes one.
Ooh,
there was a lane. Cooper Bryant had a chance at him, but unable to bring him in. But still, at the 48, their own 48, West Fargo with 24 seconds to go, probably going to have to look for something long. I think if you're Cheyenne, we're saying, where is Peyton McGregor? Where is he? And let's make sure that we do not let him behind us. Everyone else, if you just man up on your guy, that gives us a chance. I'm sure McGregor's going to go out. He's going to be solo over here on the short side of the field with Schlichting covering him.
Tiedemann's going to look to his left. He's looking to McGregor's side, and it's thrown too high there.
He's looking for number 86. Who is not on our roster sheet here.
Yeah, it goes from 85, Alex Wetterland, to number 87, Zachary Waldera. Huh.
And Coach Newton not liking what he's seeing as the defense was lining up there. He's going to get his second time out in 19 seconds here. So we know what West Fargo is going to try and do, right? They're going to try, probably going to have to move that pocket a little bit for Tiedemann because he's not had the time when he's just dropped straight back. We've had defensive players for the Mustangs getting to him, so you roll him out, move that pocket a little bit. That buys him an extra couple of seconds. The important thing is keeping everybody in front of you if you're on the defensive backfield for the Mustangs. You just keep everybody in front of you. You can give up a completion that's short. West Fargo does still have one timeout here, but you just don't let anyone get behind you. And that would for sure include Peyton McGregor.
Tiedemann's going to look to it right. He's going to look to his right, rolls, and he's just forced to throw that away.
So 3rd and 10 now, upcoming for the Packers.
Hey, Mustang fans. It's 3rd down and 10 for the Packers from their own 48.
So the Packers with 2 more chances here to make something happen. going into the break, down 4 scores. It's a big hole to get yourself out of. Ballstead in motion. Tiedemann to his left, looks deep. He's trying to find, oh, broken up. Great defense there. He was looking for McGregor.
Great job, Noah Olson coming over. Not trying to go for the interception, just looking to knock that away. 8 seconds left and 4th down for the Packers. They got to convert here. Time's running out on them. You don't want to sit and make that mistake of trying to go for the interception and letting a ball get through. You just knock it out of the air. So 4th down. We'll see what Coach Gibson dials up for the Packers on this last attempt here of the first half.
Tiedemann to his left, just standing in the pocket, and he's going to get swallowed up in the backfield. Right around the line of scrimmage, as a matter of fact, and that is going to
2 seconds left. 2 seconds left. I think the Mustangs will be happy to take a knee and get the kick coming out of halftime and see if they can tack on another one, already up 28-0. Good job by the defensive line.
Is doing.
Yeah, they that first offensive play for the Packers, that big run by Fowl, you thought, geez, that this is going to maybe be a trouble area for the Mustangs tonight. But since that play, they've done an excellent job of locking down those running lanes.
The Mustangs already have 1 shutout under the belt. That was against Red River a couple weeks ago, and we might have another one here tonight. Who knows? But the Mustangs are halfway through the game with the shutout. They lead the Packers 28-0 going into the halftime break here. And boy, it was all Sheyenne in that first half. We'll be back shortly, folks, for the start of the second half. The Mustangs will receive the second half kickoff, and as Dan Wolf said, we'll see if the Mustangs can tack on another one.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
Got some halftime entertainment here. The Sheyenne dance team is performing at midfield, so direct your attention to there.
Between the grains and apples, ups and downs, right to left, all around me, brains are scratching in and out. We're ready now, the new South guys are riding savages are spinning to eat and won't stop till they satisfied. Now who's ready? Now who's ready? Now who's ready? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Sheyenne dance team.
For kickoff, be out
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
We are back, folks, here on Mustang Media, here on YouTube. About to get the second half underway. The Mustangs with a hot start in the first half. It was all of Cheyenne in that first half, 28-0. And boy, Race Wilson is having a game here tonight, Dan. He had the first touchdown on the ground to start the game, and then, the most recent touchdown, he had one on that little, dump pass, and he was able to break free and make a couple guys miss and punch it in for a touchdown through the air.
Well, he's one of the guys we spotlighted at the beginning of the game, Jackson, and you've pointed out throughout the broadcast that the leading rusher in the EDC, he's the leading receiver for the Mustangs. So all of this, it just shows how talented he is and how dangerous he is. And, as the game started, it was a dream scenario for the Mustangs and a nightmare scenario for the Packers. Packers mishandle the opening kickoff, fumble it away. Cheyenne goes down and scores just a few plays later, gets up 7-zip. West Fargo comes back, knocks off a 40-yard run, and you think, okay, West Fargo is kind of settling in. Next play, Tiedemann is intercepted by Marcus Johnson. He runs it back for a pick six, and suddenly we're not even 4 minutes into the game with Cheyenne up 14-zip, and then we kind of entered that little lull period, but Cheyenne's been able to tack on those 2 touchdowns. The last one, as you pointed out, that little bubble screen to Race Wilson, and so they're going to receive the second half kickoff with that 28-0 lead, and undoubtedly there's going to be probably a focus by the Mustangs to try and ground some yardage and grind some time down and just try and go on one of their patented long drives. I think if Coach Newton had his way, you'd eat up 4, 5, 6 minutes and hopefully be able to score a touchdown on that opening drive and really kind of put the Packers away for the game.
Well, I think you got to give credit to Caleb Deere. I think he did a good job of just managing the offense. He had a couple, or actually not just a couple, he had a lot of great runs there. He was able to get out of the pocket there and scramble and, pick up some yards on the ground.
Oh, he's done a lot on the ground. Part of it came from, you're right, those read option plays, and he strings out, he sells that possibility of the option, that pitch to the running back, and Packer players are biting on that, and then Deere is picking the right time to turn it upfield and making good gains. But I think where he's really kind of shined tonight for me, Jackson, is when he's dropped back to pass. He hasn't had a lot of time. He's had Packers in the backfield with him, but he pulls the ball down, and then because of his quickness and kind of his shiftiness, he's able to get outside the Packer rush, and then he's had opportunities to run off 10, 6, 8, 10 again, whatever it is, yards, and keep the chains moving for the Mustangs. So that's what's actually impressed me, I think, the most for what Caleb Deere has done tonight. He's making really good decisions when he's dropping back.
Well, and the defense is doing an incredible job. Keeping the Packers at 0 points, both sides of the ball. It's just been another great night on both sides of the ball for the Mustangs. And if you're doing well on both sides of the ball, most likely you're going to be winning the football game. And we did get a scoring update. Shanley now has the lead over Fargo Davies, 27-21. So Davies did have the lead at 21-14. So Shanley scored a couple times and was able to keep Davies right where they're at 21. So that's a good game that's going on in town here tonight. We'll keep you guys updated.
So we're about ready to get going here as West Fargo is going to kick off to the Mustangs.
Yeah, we were talking about after Wilson got another touchdown in there and punched it across the goal line for the 4th touchdown of the evening for this Mustang squad, and now they're able to get the second half kickoff as well, and they have a chance to just do some more damage. They just keep piling on the wounds, keep puncturing the wounds.
Like I said, we just, for Coach Newton, I'm sure he wants to just one of those long sustained drives that you don't need to be in any rush. You're breaking off chunks of yardage to your left with second and medium, third and short opportunities. You're never putting that bind of a third and long situation. And if Cheyenne's able to do that and tack on a score, like I said, being down 5 touchdowns and probably that could eat up half the quarter, that's going to be probably a really tall task for the Packers, especially with the way the Mustang defense has played.
Here we go, folks. Second half kickoff about to begin here.
Number 28, Barry Panu. Kicking off for the
temperature has dropped down to 40 degrees. And now it's a slight wind coming out of the south.
Not a lot of guys with sleeves, though. They're toughing it out here.
South to north wind here, 6 miles an hour. And here we go. The second half is underway. It's going to be a little squib kick here.
Little onside kick, trying to see if they could catch the Mustangs sleeping. Probably kicked it a little further than what he was hoping. Cheyenne's able to cover that up, and they're in business, starting from about their own 38, 39-yard line.
Kick is recovered by number 19, Max Greenwood for Cheyenne. The Mustangs will have it 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
The drive will begin from the 39-yard line. And this one's going to go to Kanega to the right side. He's going to get up to, fights his way, and the 4 or 5 Packer defenders having a difficult time getting Kanega to the ground. And
that's that leg power you talked about. He kept that moving.
515-pound squad.
On the play, bringing up 2nd and 7.
I think it's going to be important for Cheyenne too this second half to really take care of the ball, 2 hands on the ball at all times. I'm sure Packer players be looking to punch these balls, rip the ball out of the players' hands for the Mustangs. So if you're any type of ball carrier for Cheyenne, you're going to want to make sure that you are taking care of it. A little rollout here from
Caleb
Deere.
Deere on the right side. He's
lots
of time, and he fires, and it is incomplete there. Almost completed, though. Dave McGregor breaks up that one. Now it's looking for Bile.
Hit Bile in the hands, and I think Bile knew that he wasn't going to have a lot of time and was looking to maybe move before he actually reeled it in and was juggling it, and the hit from McGregor. So
I'll bring up 3rd and 7
that's
for the Mustangs.
Bad break for the Mustangs. That would have been clearly a first down and would have got this drive kick started here. As
Deere's going to roll to the left, and he's going to pitch it to Wilson, and Wilson's going to get the first down at the left sideline.
Number 3,
so we talked about those Packer players biting on that extended pitch, and then Deere cutting up behind them. This time they stayed with Deere, and then Deere pitches it to Wilson. Wilson uses that speed, turns it on, and moves the chains, gets the ball to midfield for the Mustangs.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the midfield stripe.
Kanega up the middle, just driving for 3 or 4 yards.
Isaac Kanega on the carry.
That's all you really have to do. You can keep getting those kinds of positive yards.
Dustin Hunsicker. As a gain of 3 on the play, it'll bring
keep
up
that
2nd
clock
and
moving.
7 from the Packers.
Keep the ball moving. See what you can do about getting a touchdown, putting the Packers in that bigger hole.
This one will go to Wilson, and Wilson just tackled at the 45.
Should bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Mustangs. See if they go to the air, maybe that read option, and have that pitch
from the Packers 45
option for Deere, and see if here that pitch back, maybe race Wilson, if they can make something happen once again on 3rd and 5.
Third and 5 from the 45. Raw in motion. Deere's going to roll to his right, and it's going to be completed to Race Wilson, his favorite target. And Wilson breaks the tackle, and he's going to get tackled right around the 30s. So nice gain there for the Mustangs.
Keaton McGregor and Peyton McGregor on the spot
Well done.
for the Packers. That is another
That little flood route, that drag route across the underneath.
That's a tough route to defend.
It really is, and your eyes instinctively go to that deep look, and the Mustangs had someone deep, and that allows Wilson just to find that soft area underneath the defensive backs, and then uses his strength and power and speed to turn it up as Rahr's going to get one here.
Here we go. Caden Rahr, nice gain up to the 20. That'll be around 10 yards.
That
should be good enough for a first down.
Should be a first down, if not just barely short.
It's a gain of 9.5. It'll bring
9.5, so he's a half yard short
for the Mustangs
from a first down. Ball's going to be right around the 20-yard line. Just half a yard short of the 20-yard line. This will go to Rahr again to the right side. He picks up a first down for the Mustangs, gets across the 15.
Keeps those legs churning, keeps them pumping, drags a couple Packers for another extra yard or two. And first and 10 from the 14 of the Packers.
First and 10 for the Mustangs from the Packers' 14-yard line.
This one will go to Kanega to the left side now, and Mustangs just inching away, just chopping away on the ground here.
8-7.
Contact is made by number 2, Max Fowl for West Fargo.
Max Fowl with the tackle.
That's a gain of 6.
It's looking like it's going to be
from the 8-yard line.
Another touchdown here by the Mustangs coming up shortly. They're just marching down the field with the running game. They're inside the 10 now. It's going to be 2nd and 4. On the 9 or 8 yard line. This one will go to Rahr, and he's going to cut back to the left, and Rahr fights his way, and Rahr just short. He tackles right around the 2. 6-yard gain. That'll be 1st and goal now coming up.
It's one of those where you want to reward a guy who's done so much in the drive. Rahr has run for some really tough yards here as he gets it down to the 1 for the Mustangs. We'll see who has an opportunity to punch it in here.
First and goal.
It goes to Race. It'll be Race's 3rd touchdown tonight, and his 2nd on the ground. We'll see if it goes to Kanega or maybe Rahr. This one will go to Caden Rahr. Caden Rahr's going to get his opportunity, and he does, and he just trucks Peyton McGregor, and blows him up right across the goal line. It's a touchdown for Caden Rahr, and the Mustangs just keep doing more damage, and now it's a 5-score lead, 34-0.
And like I mentioned, Rahr gained a lot of tough yards in that sequence, that drive for the Mustangs, and so it's great to see someone rewarded for that hard work, getting that opportunity.
That was his drive right there.
That was.
That was all Caden Rahr. Oh, miss. Not a good snap there.
That snap is covered up by Sullivan Irie. Tackles made by number 5.
So yeah, Sullivan Irie, the holder, placeholder.
Really first bad miscue on either side of the ball with respective teams for the Mustangs tonight. So
not a big deal, 34-0.
34-0 with almost half of the 3rd quarter chewed up on one of those patented Mustang drives. Five minutes, 40 seconds chewed up by the Mustangs to start the 3rd quarter.
Chase Adlin to kick off for the Mustangs.
So there's Caden Rahr right there.
Back deep for the Packers.
Punched it in for a 2-yard rushing touchdown. It was all him on that last drive.
pooch kick, and Packer smartly drops down.
Tackle by number 25, Ashton Shaw.
Well, let's see what kind of adjustments were made by the Packers at halftime. See if there's something they can figure out to start moving the ball consistently against the Mustangs here. So far, that's been a pretty tall task.
Well, I think if you're West Fargo at this point, I mean, you only got a little over 18 minutes of regulation to play here, and I think you're playing for pride at this point, being down 34-0. So trying to make something happen here can bring that pride up. And that's going to go to Hoffland up the middle.
Number 22, Leighton Hoffland on the carry for the Packers.
Yeah, I think, you know, for this first drive for West Fargo, you're going to probably try and look to go to the air, you know, see if you can get some chunks of yardage, and if you can get a quick score, then maybe you have a chance where you're going to try and hang in this game. But if that doesn't happen quickly, I think you're right, Jackson. It kind of becomes playing for pride. You don't want to give up a shutout or anything like that. As Tiedemann
great run there
space
up the middle.
Cole Tiedemann, the quarterback keeper,
he's going to move the chains for the Packers. Crossing over into Cheyenne territory at about the Mustang 47.
It's a gain of 9 on the play. It's 1st and 10 for the Packers from the Mustangs 47.
Packers into Mustangs territory here. Tiedemann's going to drop back, and he's going to get sacked right around the 50. And Carter Menz tacks on a sack to the stat sheet this evening, his 8th sack of the year.
Not a lot of time. You pretty much have to, once that's set, you've got to make a quick decision and get rid of that. Packers just haven't been able to provide real solid protection for Tiedemann tonight. And he's taken a lot of hits, whether it's been a sack or even on times when he's been able to get rid of the ball, he's been hit hard as well.
We've seen 3 or 4 sacks. We've seen sacks from Olsen. We've seen a sack from Renner. We've seen a sack from Menz just now. And Tiedemann, nice run there across the 45.
By foul? Was that was Tiedemann?
Sorry, that was Tiedemann.
Hey, Mustang fans. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Packers.
3rd and 7.
This will be an injury timeout as the Packer player looks a bit shaken up, so training staff will come out and attend.
Injured Packer on the play is number 51.
It's going to be number 52.
Logan Moore.
That's Logan Moore.
Yeah, Logan Moore. Yeah. He's a junior.
Junior, sorry. Offensive lineman, 6 foot.
220 pounds. Yeah, he's a big kid, very strong, and hopefully he shakes that off.
Just to be going off under his own power.
You're still hungry.
Hey, Mustang fans, Bellbank Mortgage is proud to support West Fargo Cheyenne sports, whether you're in the classroom, at home, or both. We hope you're inspired this year to push yourself beyond what you even imagine. And never stop learning. Go Mustangs, Bellbank Mortgage, equal housing lender. So we've seen that play a handful of times now in this drive, that Tiedemann that fake the handoff and then just looking to advance it, seeing if he can get that defense to bite on that fake handoff and see if that creates a seam to get through. And he's had some success with that, but that time unable to, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 here as we're coming down towards 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Tiedemann, quick pass, and that is complete.
Incomplete.
Incomplete, actually. It was broken up. It looks like a catch momentarily there, but.
And a Mustang had a great job, jumped up, and just Tiedemann got the ball through his hands.
That was,
sorry, Jackson.
He's looking for Jesse Ramirez there. And then
on the slant, and it looked like he had a chance. But that's going to be turnover on downs by the Packers. And the Mustangs come out for their second possession of the second half here, under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
So one's going to go to Pinu. He's going to get a few yards on that. Cross tackled right around the 45.
Tackle by number 2, Max Fowl, number 75, Dustin Hunsicker. That's a gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Also, one more reminder for Mustang fans that there is a booster social tonight at Brutus Clubhouse immediately after the game, hosted by the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustang Boosters. It's open to anyone. You do not have to be a booster to attend, but you must be 21 years of age or older if you want to go check out all the great things that the Mustang Boosters do and just kind of visit with some other Mustang fans. You're invited as soon as the game is over at the Brutus Clubhouse at Osgood Golf Course. So 3rd and 6 upcoming for the Mustangs here. So we've gone under 2 minutes.
This third quarter's flying by pretty fast. Mustangs just chewing out that clock. And this one's going to go to Bradshaw, number 11. He's trying to fight his way forward.
He was trying to fight. He got bounced back pretty quickly, and that's going to bring up I don't know if he got anything on that, probably a 4th and 6, and I think we're going to see the punt team. So
yeah, really
Entz will be here for his.
You're up 34 zip.
Connor Entz will be out for his second punt of the evening.
Deep to punt for the Mustangs is number 6, Connor Entz.
Back deep for the Packers, I think that's
number 5,
McGregor.
Deep to receive for the Packers.
Peyton McGregor back. Low punt.
Yeah, low
takes
punt.
Takes a Mustang bounce, and then it
bounce,
just kind of dies there. Good coverage.
Punt is down at the 27-yard line. The 26-yard punt. Packers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 27.
26-yard punt by Connor Entz. 1st and 10 from the 27 coming up here for the Packers with a minute to go here in the third quarter. Tiedemann dropping back, and it's going to be a little dump pass here to Fowl.
Tiedemann's pass to Max Fowl.
Really going to be just a very, very small gain. Both Tiedemann and Fowl were so deep in the backfield that by the time Fowl got it and got about 3-4 yards upfield, he was only getting back to about the line of scrimmage. So it brings up a 2nd and 9. This will probably be the last play of the third quarter here, barring an incomplete pass. And West Fargo still not really able, aside from that 40-yard run by Fowl on their first offensive play of the evening, haven't really been able to get a lot going as Tiedemann comes up here.
Yeah, that was a nice run there, and it's tackled by.
That was a nice job by
Weigel.
Yeah, by Weigel, just chasing him down and keeping up the pursuit. But, wow. Quick quarter.
That was a very quick third quarter.
A couple possessions by both teams, but the important one was that opening drive that took 5 minutes, over 5.5 minutes, and the Mustangs now lead 34-0. We'll be back for the fourth quarter.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
We're back for the start of the fourth quarter, folks. Mustangs lead 34-0, and we were just talking about during the intermission. It seems like it is going to be running clock as. Yeah, no wonder why that third quarter flew by so fast. With it being such a big lead for the Mustangs, they're just going to try to. The refs are just signaling to wind the clock and keep it going.
And the criteria is a 30-point lead in the second half, and that's what we have here. So it is running clock as Tiedemann is swallowed up on a 3rd and 4, and it's going to end up being about a 4th and 8. And that's going to bring on the punt team for the Packers as they're deep in their own territory, 4th and long.
Don't want to give up any more points if you're West Fargo.
As Entz goes deep to receive the punt. Oh,
it's going to be a fumble, and Manson applying the pressure, and Menz just tackles him inside the 20, and that's going to be big time field position for the Mustangs to do.
Insult to injury for the Packers. You know, kind of that momentum swayed right on that opening kickoff by mishandling the kickoff, giving up the touchdown, move the ball a little bit, and then give up the pick 6, and really West Fargo has struggled to really get anything positive and consistent going since then, and there's just another example. Poor snap and unable to handle it. Caden Olsen in now.
Caden Olsen, yeah. It's going to be the new quarterback here to finish out the game. And this one's going to go to Pinu to the right side. Now tackle right around the line of scrimmage. Who knows? Maybe we might even see Olsen and Irie alternate. You never know.
Well, it looks like what we're going to have here is
Irie's
coming
in
right now, and
I called it.
Maybe just alternate these two guys, and you know it's always, as we've talked about on several broadcasts, Jackson, whether it's been volleyball or football or basketball, it's important for guys, you know, even though the game doesn't appear to be in doubt at all. It's still important for those young guys to get some of that varsity experience. To, you know, that speed at the varsity level seems to the game moves so much faster,
yeah.
and so just to kind of get your feet wet with that and feel what that's like, and you never know with injuries and those sorts of things what can happen when someone might be called upon in a big spot. So you don't want probably the very first taste of varsity action to be that situation after an injury or something like that. So I think this is probably a good choice by Coach Newton. Get these guys some experience. They moved backwards so far, but I think you just have to go with that, and kind of that's how you learn how to handle yourself in these situations.
Absolutely. This one's going to go to Bradshaw, and great cut there by Bradshaw.
Good
Bradshaw
job.
did have a touchdown in the opening game of the year against Bismarck Legacy.
And so Lamb stops him there. It's going to bring up 4th and long. 4th and 8-ish, but that's okay.
4th and 8 from the 15-yard line.
Irie only a sophomore.
Caden Olsen's also a sophomore. So yeah, two sophomore quarterbacks just alternating.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move by Coach Newton. Nothing wrong with that. You know, just to alternate those two guys. And Irie here, let's see if he can make something happen here as a quarterback here on 4th and 8 from the 15. And this one's going to go to Bradshaw again. He's getting a lot of looks on this drive, and he's going to be short.
And that'll be a turnover on downs.
Stop short of the first down. Mustangs will turn it over on downs.
So 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter, with the Mustangs holding that lead at 34-0. We'll see if the Packers go still with their top group with their starters, or if they're also going to maybe get some looks at some players that don't get to see the field quite as often.
And number 6, Brady Medina, is in for the Packers at quarterback.
Number 22, Leighton Hoffman.
And Hoffman with the carry there.
So that maybe tells us a little bit there of what Coach Gibson, seeing that Coach Newton is putting in some of the reserves. He's going to follow suit in a game that's pretty much the outcome is predetermined here, with the running clock and winding down towards 8 minutes left in the game.
Medina hands it off to Hoffman again.
22, Leighton Hoffman on the carry.
Still a nice job by the Mustang front four.
Stop is made by number 22, Wyatt Samardzija.
They'll bring up a 3rd and 5, I think, here for the
3rd down and 5
for the Packers.
7:45 to go in this game. Medina's going to drop back, looks for a guy, and that's going to be incomplete.
Behind him, good effort there by
Keaton McGregor there.
Yeah, Keaton McGregor, good effort, unable to reel it in, and that'll bring 4th and 5 and bring out the punt team. Hopefully the pass or the punt or the snap here is a little better. So
4th and 4.
Fans, bear with us as we've got some new players on the field that don't always see time, and
that punt's going to roll out of bounds. Or actually, it's going to stay in bounds, but it's going to be right around the 40. And the Mustangs will take over from there, and let's see if they, with the back, with the quite a few of the backups in, see if they can get 6 on the board here and make it 40 zip.
I think Coach Newton would be happy just, to kind of
get
some positive yards, some positive plays, make some things happen out there as he's talking to the offense on the sideline before sending them out, as we're now down to 6:49 to play in the 4th quarter. And Shanley has added to their lead. Shanley, the number 3 team in the state, excuse me, and Davies, the number 1 team. Shanley now leading 34-21, so potential upset in the making in the
fumble snap, and that's going to be recovered by the Packers. That goes over Kane Olsen's head.
That was
the Packers are going to get it right back.
A lot of juice on that. That snap kind of caught on Olsen a little quick there and unable to handle it. And so that's going to be a turnover. Probably not what Coach Newton was hoping for. Maybe not looking for a touchdown, but executing is what you need to do. Let's run everything properly and see if we can learn from some things.
Medina looks to his right, and pass is complete. Great throw. That was to Max Fowl.
Good pass out there, and Fowl keeps his balance and turns that into about an 8-yard gain. It looked like the
thought he was down.
I thought it was down, but he did a nice job of keeping himself upright and stretching it out to a gain of 9.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 1.
2nd and 1 at 5:40 to go here in the 4th quarter. That rollout looking for McGregor, I think. No.
That's going to be deep, and it's a pass is caught, and that's going to be a touchdown for West Fargo. So there goes the shutout for, it was to Ian Scary, and boy, that's a quick kid right there, and just a freshman this year.
That was a good job. McGregor kind of ran a post there and took his man out of the play, and Scary had been in motion out of the backfield and then got behind the linebacker, and probably a mismatch there when you have someone with his quickness and trying to be guarded by a linebacker.
Yeah, so there goes the shutout, and Packers are on the board, 34-6. It's going to be an extra point attempt here. Snap is good, and the right-footed kick is up and good, so it's 34-7. 5 minutes on the dot to go here in the 4th quarter.
5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Cheyenne 34, West Fargo 7.
Mustang fans, make sure you check out our social media pages. Riley Rahr is always updating our social media pages with a lot of information. Our Instagram is mustang.post. We also got social media pages on Facebook and Twitter. Riley Rard does a good job of constantly updating and staying active on our social media pages to make sure you guys are informed. So go check those out.
So to open the second half, there was a onside kick to start. We'll see if West Fargo tries anything like that this time or if they just kick it away. Mustang Media, we would like to recognize and congratulate the boys tennis team who finished third place at the state tournament up in Grand Forks. Awesome job by our tennis team, coached by Chad Anderson. Another
squib kick, yeah.
Another little onside squibber that swallowed up quickly by the Mustangs.
Squib kick by Hazelton is recovered by number 26, Carson Wilkie.
Carson Wilkie on the recovery.
Looks like Irie will be out there to run the Packer or the Mustang offense. Here for this drive to start things as he and Caden Olson have been switching off and on. Now at a 34-7 game, the running clock is off for the moment.
This one's going to go to Bradshaw to the left side. He's gotten quite a few carries here. And Irie and Olson just going to continue to alternate snaps here, alternate downs at quarterback. Braden Nygaard on the tackle for the Packers. Just 2 yards from Bradshaw. Gold Daddy's in at fullback. This one's going to go to Bradshaw again, and he has nowhere to go. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
It's a little different with that second group of offensive linemen not getting that initial push the way that they were able to do earlier in the game.
It's going to be a loss of 3, so not at the line of scrimmage. Behind it, 3-yard loss, 3rd and 11 coming up here. Irie's going to hand this off to Bradshaw once again. He's gotten all 3 carries.
Bradshaw on the carry for the Mustangs. Tackle by number 47, Braden Nygaard.
Braden Nygaard with another tackle for the Packers. It's going to be 4th and 10.
I'll also point out that this weekend the Davies volleyball tournament, the pool play tournament is going on around town this weekend. No updates as far as how the Cheyenne girls have fared this weekend, but they are the #1 team in the state and still undefeated on this regular season, at least heading into this evening. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have a broadcast on Tuesday
against Davies.
A rare non-2-point game or 2-point match for the Mustangs. That seems to be all that there's been lately. So hoping that you will all join us again on Tuesday evening for volleyball. Cheyenne against Fargo Davies.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have a concession closeout going on right now.
We'll also be broadcasting the football game against Mandan in a couple weeks. That will be the regular season finale, and that's going to be a good one. Mandan was the #1 team in the state for a week or two after the week that Davies
and actually,
beat Cheyenne.
I think I misspoke earlier. Mandan is 3rd, Shanley is 4th in the state, and you know, actually, as you look at it, Jackson, looking at the latest poll, as there's a snap that gets away from the Packers, they're able to recover, but now they're at their own 2 or 3. But Jackson, something I thought that was interesting is, you know, Davies obviously was the #1 team in the state and had garnered the vast majority of the first place votes. Cheyenne had received 1 first-place vote, but there were still 2 first-place votes that were given to Mandan. They're 5-1 as well, and certainly a team to be reckoned with, and they'll be here, as you pointed out, 2 weeks from tonight, or actually 2 weeks from yesterday. I think that's a Thursday night
it's going to be on the 20th,
game,
yep.
To close out the regular season, and that has given, I've liked how that looks as Medina looks, catches.
Great catch there across the middle.
Great pass on that slant there.
McAllister with the catch.
But I kind of like this with the football that there is no, there's just the Class 11 2A, that there is no East and West anymore because of the size of the schools and everything. So it's kind of neat to see, before you would always play a team or two from the West to open your season, but really beyond that, the West teams were all kind of a mystery to the East and vice versa. And now everyone's had a chance to see a lot of the teams around the state.
It's like a big league.
It is, and so I think when that comes time for another good pass, Medina's a good passer. He hasn't been off by much. That was right there, but it was just excellent coverage by the Mustangs.
Jamison Allen there.
Yeah, Jamison Allen in perfect position. But I think, when it comes to playoff time now for the 11-2A, there's going to be a lot less kind of that mystery, and you'll know a lot more about some of these teams when that comes time to play those first round or two of the playoffs and moving towards the Dakota Bowl.
And the last time the Packers won a state championship was 2017, in which they went 12-0 that season. And that's the thing, the last rings that have been accomplished by these two teams were undefeated seasons, as we saw an undefeated season from the Mustangs last year, 12-0 to capture their first state title in their program's history. And it was these two teams battling out in the Dakota Bowl last year. It was a 27-7 victory for the Sheyenne Mustangs, and momentarily it was a 14-0 lead at halftime, and then Carson Hagerly he came out hot in the second half. He had a big time return there, and it just seemed like the Packers were going to turn the tables, and he ended up getting the touchdown on that after that big return. And it was 14-7, and the Mustangs, though, they were able to just kind of wake up there and get the second half going, and they were able to extend their lead to 3 scores and keep the Packers off the board after that Hagerly touchdown. And Hagerly obviously is playing, that kid's, an all-around athlete, and he's now playing up at NDSU. So, yeah, West Fargo had a pretty, it seemed they had a pretty good squad. Getting the state championship, I think a lot of people did not expect that, and it was pretty cool to see these two teams battle it out in the state championship.
It was something no one had seen before, and that you mentioned that year that West Fargo went undefeated. I remember that game here against Cheyenne was just dominated by West Fargo in a shutout. And the game at West Fargo last year was kind of dominated by Cheyenne. And so it was neat to see West Fargo. They played really well down the stretch and kind of clawed their way to the championship game on the other side of the bracket, as we're down to about 20 seconds here in the game. So even though West Fargo is going to drop to 3-4 after this, and Cheyenne improves to 6-1, I think it'd be foolish to count out what the Packers can do. They've beaten some teams out west. A lot of it's going to be determined by how that bracket looks when it comes time for playoff seedings, and that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a 34-7 victory. It was all Cheyenne this evening, and just 2 scores that we saw there in the second half. A lot of running plays just to kind of wind down the clock and get the game to move, get the clock to move and keep the game moving faster.
Yep.
But yeah, Mustangs just taking care of business, and it's a 5th straight victory for them here against their crosstown rival, 34-7, and it's just another lopsided victory between these two teams. And yeah, as you said, the Mustangs are now 6-1. The Packers dropped down to 3-4, but we still got 2 regular season games left, and then it's postseason play coming up in a few weeks. And obviously it's home field advantage for the first 2 rounds, the quarterfinal and semifinal rounds, and then the Dakota Bowl is played up at the Fargo Dome in the second week of November.
And hopefully the weather is a little more cooperative in the coming days. It was a little chilly out there tonight, but I guess that's what you should expect. So next week, as you pointed out, Jackson, Cheyenne will travel to Bismarck High, and it's been odd to see Bismarck High and Bismarck Century have losing records, and both of them were winless for a time, especially to see a Ron Wingenbach team in Bismarck Century to be winless is pretty much unheard of.
Really, they have not won a game yet.
They have not won a game yet.
I mean, last year when the Mustangs beat Century, that was to snap a 29-game winning streak.
It was, and the first time that Cheyenne had ever been able to defeat them, and here they started the season winless. So, on paper, it looks like Cheyenne should have an excellent chance traveling out to Bismarck next week. And then, as we said, hosting Mandan to wrap up the regular season.
That is a odd, statistic. I mean, Bismarck Century won state championships in 2015 and 2016. They got back to that state title game in 2018. They lost to Bismarck High, so Bismarck won the state title back in 2018.
Yeah.
And then Bismarck Century went back-to-back in 2019 and 2020, which were both victories against the Mustangs, 10-0 and 34-0. And then, so it is really rare to see teams like that have losing records, but the Mustangs, if they can, they're looking pretty good, and they'll be one of the favorites going into the playoffs to pull out another state championship and go back to back. And it's going to be, if the Mustangs can go back to back, that is going to be awesome, because that'll be 3 sports that will have back-to-back state championships in. I mean, we've gone back-to-back in golf and baseball, and to do that for football will be an awesome feat.
That really would be, and it looks like, obviously nothing's done. We know Mandan has looked like a good team, a contender out west, but really it seems like the balance of power seems to be in the east so far this year in terms of the 11-2A. With Davies, Shanley, Cheyenne, 3 of the top 4 teams in the state have been from the east. So a lot to be determined yet. A lot can happen in 2 weeks, but that's kind of how things look as we're winding down the regular season.
Well, that's going to do it for tonight's crosstown rivalry matchup. The Mustangs pull off a lopsided 34-7 win. They improved to 6-1. It's 5 straight wins for them now, and the Packers drop to 3-4 after coming into this matchup with 2 straight wins. Just a reminder, I will not be on the mic for our final home game for the regular season finale against Mandan. I will be in Arizona on vacation, so it's going to be Knodel and Wolf on the mic for that.
No, that will be
game.
Coach Knodel, because Knodel or Wolf will be in Las Vegas at that time.
That.
So we're both going to be snowbirds,
and
we're going to head south. So Aaron Knodel is going to either have to run the ship completely solo or maybe find someone else.
Yeah, so but anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in here. Make sure you subscribe to Mustang Media here on YouTube so you can get notifications on when we go live. And obviously, check out our social media pages run by Riley Rar on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So for Jackson Miller,
I'm Dan Wolf.
Mustang Media signing off. We'll see you guys next week for the volleyball game against Fargo Davies on Tuesday, October 11th.